The Mass Effect universe features lots of unique characters and races. In today's video, I'm going over all of the confirmed characters and races, as well as speculating on those who could return in the next installment of the Mass Effect series.
Lockhart QT.
Which characters and species are returning for the next Mass Effect game? In the teaser trailer all the way back from the Game Awards in 2020, we can see Liara, so obviously she is returning, as well as the Asari. In the background of the teaser trailer, we can also see potentially behind Liara and in front of the new ship, the Mudskipper, we can see a Krogan, a Solarian, and possibly a human whose armour looks a lot like the Andromeda initiatives with Ryder's armour. But this could also be a Quarian as well, because it kind of looks like one of their suits that they'd usually wear. Now going forward to the N7 Day poster of 2021, we also have a poster for the next game which includes a shot of possibly a new ship, as well as a crater which is oddly in the shape of a Geth head. So we could also be seeing the return of the Geth, which could also mean the return of the Quarians as well, as they have always been closely linked to the Geth. And in the same poster, we can see potentially an Asari, a Krogan, and a human walking towards the crater and away from the ship. In another piece of concept art with a sunset, that I think this came out before the teaser trailer, I can't really remember, but we can see another shot of a Solarian, a Drell, and possibly an Angaran from Andromeda, but this could be a human or another new alien race as well. And now, fast forwarding to 2022, and on N7 Day we got a few pieces of concept art as well as the secret transmission, showing off some returning races and reconfirmations across the board. In one piece of concept art we can see what could be Ilium from Mass Effect 2, and we can clearly see a Solarian, Krogan and Turian in sort of a marketplace with shops perhaps in Ilium. In another piece we can see an Asari billboard hologram showing off an actual Asari in a dress, so reconfirmation that they will be returning even though Liara's already been shown off, as well as references to Omega and Mass Effect Andromeda with other holographic signs. So we could be seeing the return of Omega, and if this next game is indeed set in the future, we could be going back to Andromeda. But again, it's unclear if the next game is going to be a direct continuation of the original trilogy, or set in the far-flung future where we have an older Liara, for example, set where travel between the Milky Way and Andromeda is possible. Now, we have the N7 Day secret transmission as well, showing a man-made mass relay with a transmission in the background. During this transmission we can hear Liara talking to an unknown Geth character, another confirmation of the Geth possibly returning. Now, as for returning characters, well, if this is set 4 to 10 years after the original trilogy as the date on the transmission would indicate, then we could be seeing the return of the entire, or most of the entire Normandy crew from the original trilogy return. The only issue with this is that certain characters can actually die in Mass Effect 2 and 3 as in main playable crewmates, and if they appear in the next game, certain fans may feel alienated as this would not match up with their personal story and choices in their respective playthroughs of Mass Effect 1, 2 and 3. But despite this, I still think it's a pretty safe bet that other fan favourites apart from Liara will be returning, such as Garrus and Tali, etc. Speaking of the original trilogy's ending, BioWare will have to pick one as the canon ending, as the ending of Mass Effect 3 kills off some characters depending on what happens. By the way, this is massive spoilers for the end of Mass Effect 3 by the way, so if you're okay with me spoiling Mass Effect 3, let's carry on. For example, if you picked the Destroy ending, all synthetic life as well as the Reapers is destroyed, and this includes EDI. So this is what I mean. For example, if you pick one of the endings, for example, if you pick Refusal, technically the entire galaxy gets wiped out. So depending on your choice in Mass Effect 3, the final cast that appears in the Normandy at the end of the game will be slightly different, and that goes to the ending of Mass Effect 2 as well. During the suicide run, certain characters can die if you don't meet certain criteria and if you don't make certain choices. So my point is, if BioWare just essentially make the essentially perfect ending and perfect choices canon where most of the original crew is still alive, certain people are going to feel alienated because their choices aren't reflected in the new game going forward. However, there's also other theories that the game is set in the far future, in a world where the Milky Way galaxy and Andromeda are actually connected. But if the next game is set in the far future in the Milky Way galaxy, we could be seeing an entirely new cast of crewmates, with most of the races with shorter lifespans, for example, being long dead, such as humans. But if the game takes place in the future, we could be seeing returning characters that are Asari and Krogan, for example. But if the game takes place in Andromeda and the Milky Way with joint travel together, we could be seeing races such as the Angarans, and more returning of the original crew that took place in the Tempest during Mass Effect Andromeda. I really don't think we'll see any of the Tempest crew return. I think the only way they could do that is if they did Andromeda 2, which would be really weird. I think that would be a very weird choice for BioWare. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do think Andromeda was left in a place where it's open for sequels fully, but I think personally for me they either need to connect both of the galaxies somehow with travel, or they need to just say, okay, we're basically doing Mass Effect 4, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway everyone, as well as the returning races, I'll also do a video in the future I'll be going through basically each character in the Mass Effect series and seeing if they can return in either a immediate sequel or a sort of future sequel that's set sort of 700 years in the future. I'll be doing a separate video on that, so look out for that as well, because this video mainly just goes off all of the confirmations we've had of the races. But for more Mass Effect news, speculation videos, as well as just random Mass Effect videos, stay subscribed to the channel, and thank you so much everyone for all the recent love on the videos. I really appreciate it, because at the end of the day I love Mass Effect and I love making Mass Effect videos, so I'm looking forward to doing more in the future. Anyway, thank you so much for watching everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.